Hi everyone, Nicole Kaplan with East Central Indiana Birth. Welcome back. We are talking today with Elka. She teaches prenatal yoga at 4 o'clock at Lotus Yoga Studio. On Sundays. Thank you. We hope that you join her. She always loves to see new faces and to have you keep coming back even after baby is born. So, without further ado, we're going to let Elka teach us some ways that we can strengthen our pelvic floor.
Okay, so we'll start in Baddha Konasana pose, a bound eagle pose. So you bring your feet together and you let your knees fall to the side, and you can rest your hands on your shins or on your knees, and then ground your sit bones down into the ground. So maybe you shift the gift a little bit until those two bony points at the bottom of your bottom ground down to the ground. Lower your gaze or close your eyes to start, and then sit up nice and tall. Let your shoulder blades melt down your back. Maybe take a little bit of time here to settle, to arrive, to breathe. And then when you're thinking about sitting up tall, start from all the way down from your pelvic floor. Lifting up, and it lifts up, it sort of looks just like that inside as you lift it up. So see if you can visualize that, and then draw up through your whole belly, and then lift all the way up through the crown of your head like it's lifting you taller. As you settle in here, maybe your knees start to surrender a little bit more to gravity. And then inhale, reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. And exhale to reach forward, 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 and down. Maybe round your back. Just let that go. And then starting by lowering your tailbone down to the earth, roll all the way up. From here, inhale your heart forward, press your pelvis back. Look up towards the sky, and then exhale to round your back. Tuck your pelvis up towards your belly. Inhale to arch your back. Exhale to round your back. Continue with your breath. Really focus on pressing your pelvis forward and back. When you've had enough, come back to sit up tall and straight. And then bring your left foot behind you and your right foot a little bit closer into your left thigh. Sit up tall. And then turn your heart towards your right knee. Maybe your left hand comes to your right knee. From there, draw up through your pelvic floor all the way up to your mid-belly. And sit up tall and take deep breaths. Gently and slowly unwind. Come to the other side. Just switch your legs out. Turn your heart towards your left knee. Maybe your right hand comes to your left knee. Draw all the way up to your belly. Gently and slowly unwind. And we'll come all the way to find tabletop. So stacking your shoulders right on top of your wrists and your hips right on top of your knees. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Press both hands into the mat so much that your shoulder blades widen and a little bit of puffing up between your shoulder blades starts to happen. Lengthen Back through your tailbone forward through the crown of your head. And then inhale to let your belly drop, tilt your tailbone high, reach your heart forward between your arms, look up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your bottom round, your shoulders, gaze comes to your navel. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round your back. Continue with your own breath. And then maybe you notice as you come to cow pose here that your pelvic floor tightens on its own. Maybe you give it a little extra squeeze. And then the next time you come to cat pose, maybe you notice it's just totally released and you can just let it go. Next time you come to cat pose, come back to a neutral spine, find as much length as you can. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips, come to downward facing dog. I like to walk a little bit wider. Some people need to walk wider or closer in to find the right position for their downward facing dog. Lifting your tailbone up as high as you can towards the sky, knitting your rib cage together, letting your heels be heavy here. Spine is straight and long. Bend your knees as much as you need to find that length in your spine. From here, come up onto the tips of your toes, tilt your tailbone even higher to the sky, and see if you can keep that tilt in your tailbone as you gently lower your heels back down to the mat. See how that feels underneath your low belly and throughout your pelvic floor area. From here, come back up onto the tips of your toes, bend your knees, take a little walk up to the top of your mat. Bring your feet either hip width distance apart or big toes touch, heels slightly apart. And then bend your knees, tuck your tail, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Let your shoulder blades come all the way around before your head floats up last. From here, inhale, both arms up towards the sky. And then step your left foot all the way back behind you. Bend your right knee. Bring your left heel to the mat so your left foot is at a 45-degree angle. So it's pointing up towards the top corner of the long side of your mat. Your shoulders are square with the top of your mat. And you're working on bringing your left hip a little bit forward, your right hip a little bit back. It really helps to draw up through your pelvic floor and pull your belly in tight. From here, we're turning around. So straighten your right knee, bring your toes so that they reach towards the corners of the long side of your mat. Reach your arms out wide into star pose. And then on your next inhale, reach a little bit wider. Exhale, squat down, tuck your tail under. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, exhale. This time maybe you stay here, maybe you find stillness, maybe you pulse a little bit, just gently. On your next inhale, come wide to star and turn your toes. Left toes point straight ahead, bend your left knee. Right foot's at a 90-degree angle, finding that warrior one on this side, shoulders square with the top of your mat, drawing up. And then from here, step your right foot up to meet your left foot. Forward fold. Plant your palms, bend your knees, step back to downward facing dog, take a moment there. And then draw your knees to the mat. Come all the way down onto your left hip. Bring your left arm straight up underneath your head. Your right hand can rest in front of you. Feet together, knees together. Feet lined up right with your bottom. On your next inhale, open up so that your right knee points straight up towards the sky. And then exhale your knees back together. Nice and slow and controlled. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Take a few more rounds with your own breath. When you've had enough, bring your knees together and stay there. And then roll over onto your back. Bring your feet so that they line up with your hips. Plant them firmly on the mat. Plant your palms beside you. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling, or maybe you look forward towards your heart. On your next inhale, lift your hips so that there's a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. And then exhale to slowly lower them back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Continue with your own breath. Nice and slow and as controlled as you've got in you. Maybe after a while you want to hold for a few breaths, that's fine. But the purpose of this particular kind of bridge is to find a straight line, not to come into some big back bend like you might for some other kind of bridge. Just stay here straight. When you've had enough, lower your hips back down to the mat. We'll take this opportunity to find a happy baby. So draw your knees out towards your shoulders, grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers, or the outside edges of your feet with your hands. Whichever feels right for you. Draw your knees down towards your shoulders. Maybe you rock a little from side to side. And then bring your feet together and your knees together. We'll roll over to do the other side. It will be less visually exciting for you for just a moment as you look at the back side of me. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Take a few more rounds with your own breath. And then when you have had enough, next time your knees come back together, keep them there. You can press back up. Come back to sitting in a comfortable seated position. Inhale both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Thanks so much. Namaste.
Thank you all for joining us. Be on the lookout for our upcoming blog on pelvic floor health and why you should follow Elka's moves that she just walked us through. Thanks so much. Have a great day.